Hey, let it be known, I'm working hard when I ain't on the phone. This ain't a home, this ain't a phone. Grind never stopping, I'm keeping it cold. Unlocking the door with the holy key. You supposed to be this close to me, and hopefully you don't understand G.O.D. Maybe this cold and I'm talking like no degrees. This ain't a fluke, I seen it way before it ever happened. He gave me the view. I had to put in my time on the TV, it coming in soon. I couldn't leave it all up to a variant or an experience. You gotta get.
What is going on, everyone? Luca back with another video. I'll be going over this GJ trade I caught about 2 days ago. I was able to catch a nice 1 to 3 risk reward trade in under 30 pips, so I'll be going over that with all you guys, going over my confirmations, why I took the trade, because at the end of the day, I think this could potentially help a lot of you guys catch a similar trade like this. So make sure to like and subscribe, turn the notifications on, let you know when I'm going live, because at the end of the day, I am live around 3 to 5 times a week, guys. So I will be doing this live in front of all you guys, answering all your questions, so make sure you guys tune in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on, because we'll have a lot more videos coming soon. So hope you guys like this video. Let's get right into the charts and show you how I was able to catch this nice 1 to 3 in under 30 pips. Because at the end of the day, guys, first thing I want to say is find out what kind of trader you are. If you're a day trader, if you're a scalper, if you're an intraday trader. It took me a little bit, but guess what? I am a scalper. So we'll go over this nice scalp we got on GJ. And let's just replay it off the bat. Let's go over what I was seeing live, so a lot of you guys can see what was happening. So let's just head out to the hourly first to show the structure and what I kind of saw heading into the night for this London trade. So once again, we did take this during London session. So on the hourly, off the bat, I was bullish. We had this nice consolidation after making lows, and then obviously you can see that we've been higher lows all the way continuing up. So because we haven't broken this high, we had what? Not confirmed that we were gonna that this was a higher low, because this could come up, make a lower high just to make a lower low and continue down. So in this area, you could see that we had a potential head and shoulders occurring right here, where I was kind of saying if we kind of had a rejection off this area, because as you can see, this is a good level of resistance in the past, that if we rejected off here and created some type of M, that we could potentially reverse to continue, or not to continue, but to actually shift structure down to the downside, because this could have just been a big liquidity grab, and then we had that shift to structure to then come and fill all this imbalance to the downside. So I was cautious of that, but at the end of the day, I was bullish, looking for buys only, so I wasn't even looking to enter once we were rejecting this. I was just going to wait for maybe, I think when I was looking at this, sells were valid for me. Maybe these are like the risky sell zones, and then this was like the safe sell zones, all the way down here under 166, like 500. But once again, was looking for buys overall this night. So as we approach these highs, once again, let's just press play as we get a little closer. This was actually an hourly wick fill. So what time is this? This is the, oh damn. So this was just the hourly close. Let's drop back down to the 15-minute, because we have to go over what maybe you get in this trade. Because at the end of the day, guys, if you look at this trade, a lot of people would look at it and go, oh, it's just a breakout. Well, in my opinion, it's not, and I'll go over why. I mean, it kind of was in a way, but I had other confirmations. It wasn't just because it just closed above here that I took this trade. Like, once again, on this 15-minute, you can see that we did get a closure above. Could have took a nice flip, but I don't really do that anymore. I have other confirmations that I need to line up. So once again, real quick, another confirmation that I actually had on the hourly time frame that I wanted to go over was this hourly fib. If you guys are unfamiliar with fibs, definitely go watch some videos. There's some really good videos online about fibs, but this was actually another confirmation of why I actually was expecting us to continue bullish instead of creating that M and continuing down. Was this nice 78.6 rejection on the hourly time frame. As you can see, I marked up from this low, I created this high, and it retraced right down to the 78.6, had that big massive push back up, broke these highs, and then had that break of these highs, retest, and continuation. At the end of the day, guys, market structure is king and just price action. So that nice break and retest was a good confirmation that we're probably going to continue higher. So as you can see on the hourly with this beautiful 8 SMA rejection, if you guys have been watching me, you guys know that I use my MAs religiously, and I need it to line up with my entries for me to even get in the trade. So as you can see, we had good rejections on all MAs on all time frames. We were breaking these highs, and it lined up with this hourly close. So once again, if we just hop down to, once again, the hourly just, okay, yeah, so let's hop down to the 1 minute, because you guys will see kind of what I was seeing and why I took this trade. So this was a lower time frame W as well as a hourly wick fill. That was, we'll just keep going into it, but I had this little level of like I had this little like trend drawn up, I remember, and I was saying like, all right guys, if we just can break out of this little ascendant triangle, which we did already here, but I thought that we were gonna get a nice break and retest to continue up, because at the end of the day, that's what I always look for: break and retest, continuation. So I believe we started breaking. Actually, no, we started going down once again. So this was the hourly open. Price started to do what? It started to actually go down. So what did it do is it created that bottom wick. So once it created that bottom wick on the hourly, I think it was like literally just that. Let's hop out the hourly just to show. Oh, well, we're on replay mode, so it's not going to show it because it just shows that it hit TP. But basically what it looks like is I actually can just I don't have my zoom up to draw it, but basically it once again, we were making higher highs and higher lows to continue up, and the hourly candle looked like this, and it had a big top wick right through it. But let's just say that it stopped like right up here, and basically price opened up right at these highs with a big bottom wick, and I was like, all right guys, if we can get this flip, I will take this buy right here on the hourly flip, stops below, to then have it drive up and then wick fill. So once again, it won't let me go from the 1 minute to the hourly and show what the wick looked like before it was filled. But it once again, it opened up super bearish with no top wick. It had I actually remember it had like a 15 to 17 pip bottom wick, and I was like, all right guys, we are heavily bullish. If we open up, and not only are we bullish, but we broke above hourly highs and closed, got a retest, and now we're continuing up in this ascending triangle with that hourly wick. I was like, all right guys, that's a good confirmation that we are most likely going to continue up. And then the last confirmation I had for this entry was a lower time frame fib. So right here, I believe, drew up the fib. As you can see, all right, it wasn't that one, but we had the 786 rejection right here to continue up. And then once again, this is just a lower time frame W. That wasn't the correct fit, but and once again, these type of trades we take. All right, let's get rid of this. But the type of trades I always like to take, if you guys have been watching me on lives, is just those simple W's. In my opinion, a W is just a double bottom, but with SMA confirmations and stuff, it is way different. I look at it way different nowadays, but it's basically this W. Once again, this is you're anticipating that to happen. It's when it's down here, and once it breaks above this kind of high right here, that you're taking your buy like this, anticipating this to then drive to then complete this W. So let's go look for like the example so you guys can see it in real time. But that's just a pattern that I once again take religiously. Once again, I saw that quote recently that was like, one pattern can change your life. One pattern, one pair, one session. Once again, I preach all that type of stuff. But as you can see, like right here, we had that channel down, W, break above. So you could have just once again draw that down, waited for it to form support, which it did right here. Boom. Once it created that right here. But basically, as you can see, it created that W, broke above that neckline, looking like price was gonna break, retest, continue up right off the SMAs. So that was a good entry, but once again, it's not like it was at the highs yet. But I'm just explaining that because that's kind of what's happening right here is a W, break, retest, respecting the ASMA, looking to fill the hourly wick, and then we just execute. At the end of the day, guys, you guys got to pull the trigger, trust your analysis, hit off the 786 on the hourly on the lower time frame, looking for it to wick fill after closing above. Once again, if you just hop out to like the 15-minute, you can see that if this was a real breakout trade, our entry would have been on the last 15-minute, which still would have been profitable. But once again, I'm picky on my entries. So you can see another great rejection on the ASMA, broke above highs, closed, great bottom wick to reject support, came back up, and then on lower time frames, we were in on the next 15-minute, which lined up with the hourly open. Once again, so the last hour opened up above support. This next hour, we're taking the candle flip, expecting price to drive up. So what ended up happening, let's press play. Price ended up coming up and hitting our TP. As you can see, our entry, we got in right above here, right as it was rejecting here, coming back up. We got our entry, nice TP1. And then we'll go over my kind of strategy of what, like when I close and all that type of stuff. But so let's just go over that actually right now. So for trades with trends, once again, I was bullish for the night. So the reason I was because I was in buys because of my strategy, we were in buys and I was bullish. So I at least target a 1 to 2. I'm not closing at a 1 to 1 if my trade is with the trend, because in my opinion, once again, sample size. So if you guys have not heard that before, probably heard it from Don Vell. I think you probably heard it from Dr. Dollar. But sample size, what sample size is you're collecting data on like your entries, pairs, trading times, just whatever it is you want to like take data on. It doesn't even have to be just trading related, but you're going through all your entries and your setups, and over time you're figuring out your statistics and figuring out what's working versus what's not working. And so all year you're able to sample size so that at the end of the year you can go back and go, this certain pattern and this certain setup, when they both line up at this time or whatever, I only have a 40% win rate. But when this lines up at this time with this, I have a 80% win rate. So you're slowly over time able to eliminate all those things that aren't working for you, because you're statistically taking notes and sample sizing, figuring out if it's working or if it's not working for you. And if it's not working, get out of your trading plan. So that's why I always recommend sample sizing. So why I brought that up is because from my back testing and my sample sizing, my average risk to reward with pro trend trade is a 1 to 3. So with all my data and all my months of back testing, if my average risk to reward is a 1 to 3, that is what I target. And because it's a 1 to 3, once it gets to a 1 to 3, guys, I shouldn't have a majority of my positions left open. But I also close a little bit 1 to 2. So that's something that I just do, because a 1 to 2, in my opinion, is a really good risk to reward. I close partials in that area, then put my stops to break even. So I put my stops to break even at TP1 because I like to preserve my capital, but I still am only going to close at a 1 to 2. So let's go over counter trend. If we are bearish and I was taking buys, I close out at a 1 to 1. Why? Because of sample size. And when I backtest, I've backtested and figured out that when I take trades against the trend, my average risk to reward is a 1 to 1. I get 1 to 2 sometimes, I get 1 to 3s, but I most of the time only get that 1 to 1. So because of that, and because I have that sample size down, I'm closing at 1 to 1, because that's what's keeping me profitable and keeping the most money in my account and in my pockets. So it's always stops to break even at TP1 once again. So we hit TP1, stops right break even, never came back down, and I was actually not even able to close at TP2 because it just kept flying. So I actually want to go over. So first we'll go over. I actually should pull up my Telegram real quick. So just so you guys know, no capping. We got GJ buys right here. So this was the play that we called out. So get GJ ready potentially. I was telling them early, telling these signals early. Then we got into the trade by GJ entry 505, as you can see right here. 8.5 pip stop loss, targeted 1 to 2 and to 3. And once again, I put the 1 to 2 3s because once again, sample size down shows me that that is my average risk to reward. So I target that. So once again, sent it, said playing the hourly wick fill. Said if it comes back to entry, I'm closing, because at the end of the day, you can see that we had this big push up, and that's what I was looking for. So if we were going for an hourly wick fill, it already filled the wick. So at that point, I was telling them, like, all right, so it's filled the wick. We're either going to hit TP, or if we reverse back to break even, I'm going to get out of that trade, because it already did what I was expecting. I was expecting it to wick fill, which it did. So at that point, if it decided to reverse from there, then I'd get out, because it did what I thought it was going to do and what my analysis lined up to say it was going to do. So at that point, why would I just stay in the trade if it wasn't lining up anymore? So let's just keep going through. Super scalpers showed them while I was in almost a TP1. I think this was when I was like, it started kind of reversing a little bit. And then obviously TP smashed, hallelujah, TP1, TP2, TP3. Once again, I just put those. And then as you can see, TP2 and TP3 smashed super quick, and then closing my majority of my position, letting the rest run break even. So I actually wanted to have my MetaTrader pulled up to show you guys, see whatever. But on GJ here, as you can see, this is a funded live account through my Forex funds. On GJ, I wanted to go over the exit and everything. I'm actually just gonna pull out a because I have a really good screenshot. So I'm gonna put up a screenshot on the screen right now of my exit. So my exit was super fire, and I want to go over my exit as well. But like I said, usually I close a little bit majority or a little partials at TP2, then let the rest run to TP3. Because at the end of the day, once again, I'm closing at TP3. So it's like once I'm at TP2, I'm closing partials, stops at break even. So it's either the rest is either going to hit me break even or go to my TP3. So once again, this 1 minute flew up past TP2. I was sending it to the chat, and the next 1 minute went up and hit TP3. So this was actually how I was able to close a good majority, about $2,600 at the perfect moment. So let's go to the 15-minute, guys. This was actually where I closed. So as you can see, I had this little support right about here, and I was like, you know what? This is such clean structure, or this is what we were like looking to fill with the wick fill, as well as all this clean imbalance. Now that we've come up to these highs, we're probably going to get a nice rejection. So once again, I already knew targeting 1 to 3. We're already at my 1 to 3. So I'm closing. I closed, I was in like 14 lots, and I closed 13 of them. So I was in 1.3 lots still. That's why I was able to close about 2,600, then left the rest running. That's why it wasn't exactly like a 3K win for a 1 to 3. It's because I left some running. I know that, like I said in my trading plan, I closed full at 1 to 3. But like I said on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, look at how bullish we were, and I was looking to possibly come up to continue to test these highs and maybe even just break these highs and then once again push up to fill all this imbalance. So I was okay with it. Once again, I didn't have to close any at TP2, so I had some room, like I had some more profits that I would have had than if I would have closed the majority at TP2, because I closed the majority at TP3. But once again, that screenshot, I'll pull it up one more time, is just to show you guys that I got out at like 550 something. Like literally, like I was closing a majority of the positions in this area, and as you can see, price actually just reversed. So it was a sniper close, and that's how, honestly, all I wanted to show you guys was that it was a sniper close, and I freaking loved that because I haven't had a nice sniper close like that in a while. How I close is usually due to lower highs being created after, like, let's say we're in buys and we're having price continue up and we're in these buys above like these highs, whatever. Once price is making like higher highs and higher lows to continue up, as soon as we start making lower lows, I'm out of the trade. So let's say that we take this buy position like right here and we go all the way up here. Once we like come up here and once we break back below here, it's basically showing you that price wants to possibly reverse. So that is where is a smart place to get out of the trade. Once again, guys, you guys want to target areas instead of just go for that risk reward, you know. Actually have an area that you're targeting and that you want to like close at and all that good stuff. So this had a good break and retest. It ended up going back up, breaking those highs, but it ultimately ended up absolutely falling. So the rest of my position got stopped out break even, but once again, I got such a good close and such good profits on it. I really was not mad. But this was the M I was telling you guys earlier that we were looking at to take down in here. Didn't form. It broke the high, so we got this whole move that we were in, rejected this little resistance that we were aiming for up here, closed the majority of our position, and then it ultimately ended up actually dumping like so fast. Look at dump. Or slow, but ended up going super fast all the way down. But I was asleep. This was a super late trade. We took that trade at about, I think we took it at the 2 a.m. hourly open. So I was going to bed right after that. But that was basically the trade that I took, guys. It was the hourly fib on a lower time frame. Looked for a break and retest, a continuation. We were in bullish trend. Got nice rejections off of the MAs to continue price up. Waited patiently. Once again, guys, we could have got in on this breakout right above here, which would have been beautiful, and this would have played out. But we've been really disciplined in our trading lately, and only taking a couple trades. We've only taken, I think, 6 trades in December, but we have like an 80% win rate. Yeah, exactly. So 4-2 in December so far, 80% win rate. Wait, no, 4-1. Yeah, I was like, what? 4-1 in December with 2 break-even trades, 80% win rate. This was the GJ buys that we caught. It was only 30 pips, but it was ultimately beautiful. Last night we took GU buys that ended up, or sells, GU sells that ended up, we almost hit TP1. It was actually beautiful. but then we put our stops to break even, and it hit us break even and ended up actually dumping so far. So that was actually a beautiful trade, but that's how we ended the week. And it was beautiful. At the end of the day, 80% win rate in December, and December is not that good of a month, is very good, and I'm happy with that. We've had good profits, and VIP is eating. I love the whole community. I love all the people who keep giving on Zoom every single night, all the people who get on YouTube. I appreciate all you guys so much. But this was how I was ultimately able to catch 28 pips in, like, that was honestly like in under 15 minutes. Once again, guys, so it's quick. That's why I said super scalpers. When I showed you guys the Telegram, it said super scalpers, because that's what we are. I always tell my group that we're super scalpers, going for those short moves. But those short moves can equal risk to reward, because once again, it only went like 28 pips, but we caught a 1-3. You know what I'm saying? And numbers don't lie. You guys can see it. It's like all you guys were there to catch it live. If you guys can catch these small moves with small stop losses, like stop loss was only 8.5 pips. Like the least I do is usually around 8 pips. But if you can get these 8 pip stop losses, once you're at a 1-3, that's 24 pips. So if you can catch 24 pips and get a 1-3 with an 8 pip stop loss, like you guys can absolutely eat. Once again, risk reward is king. It'll wipe out losses that you can get, because inevitably losses happen. At the end of the day, losses always happen, and you can't get mad when you lose. So get that risk to reward. If you lose a couple times, your risk to reward will get you back to profit plus some, and bring you back up. So that's why I always say, brought up sample sizing. Is me personally, I've sample size, I've back tested. I told you guys what my average win rate is with pro trend trades, what my average win rate is with counter trend trades, and I recommend all you guys to go and do something similar with that. Pick a couple pairs, back test them, and actually do percentages of the entries, what entries you're taking, what your average risk to reward is, what times you're trading at. Because at the end of the day, guys, when I backtest, I only backtest the hours that I am trading. I start around like 10 p.m., 10:30, 11 p.m. my time, and I do it till 2 to 3 a.m. My time as well, because that's the only time I'm really trading at night during lending sessions. So that's when I'm looking at the charts. That's when I'm backtesting, so I can get ready to catch plays like this. So go backtest. Keep continuing to work harder. 2023 is right around the corner. It is your year to get better and accomplish all the goals that you have in mind. Nothing is stopping you except for you. You are the author of your own story. And it's just, once again, figure out what chapter you're on, what you're doing in this chapter of life, and how you can end it to then go into this next chapter fresh, with good mind and a good spirit. And at the end of the day, guys, that's all you need. So love all you guys. Love all the support. Love all you guys for repeatedly coming and showing up to my live streams, following me on Instagram, always checking in on me, all that good stuff. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Congratulations if you caught this trade. If you guys are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. Free Telegram and VIP Signals Telegram in the description. Love you guys. Hope this video was helpful, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.